you're essentially what people are now calling a solopreneur brand, right? So your business is you are your business. And I think personal branding is quite interesting. There will probably be some people who are listening to this show who hear the phrase personal branding and sort of they let out an audible sigh and their eyes roll like, oh my God, what is that? And labels can sometimes be unhelpful, right? For me, brand is really just what people say about you kind of when you're not there. So whether we're actively thinking about it or not, we all have a brand. But I wonder, what advice would you give to leaders, people aspiring to senior leadership positions, around how you can sort of position and really sort of build the brand and reputation that you would like?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been really, really fortunate. Like, I've made my career in fields of passion. So I did do a Bachelor of Business Management, majoring in tourism, which was very, very handy. But towards the end of that, I broke my back in a car accident and I ended up never wanting to be indoors again. So I went from aspiring to be a marketing manager of a international hotel chain so I could travel and work in luxury locations to being like, I just don't think I can be indoors. But I used the marketing aspect and the sales aspect and most definitely the branding aspect. And we today, in this moment, live in this really awkward society where everyone's trying to be an influencer. So the idea of branding has this connotation of like, I'm just trying to be an influencer. Like, and then I roll my eyes. Starting out in a career and trying to work in a field that you're passionate about is sitting down and going, well, what am I passionate about? And that is a really big question. Like, the amount of people that I meet that probably couldn't even answer that question. Like, well, what am I passionate about? Well, I don't know. I like to fish. I'm like, okay, you could be a fishing guide, like imagine that. And people just don't understand that they can create careers out of passions. That's where that branding comes in. So my brand has always been Aussie in action. That's my email address. When I go to post on Instagram, I'm like, is it showing an Aussie in action? So it really does give it a broad spectrum because it's just me moving, really. But the focus is physicality in the outdoors. The way I look at it, to enable myself to remain passionate about things, when opportunities come my way, I just ask myself, does it fit in this line of Aussie in action? For me, does it bring me happiness, money, and I call it love, but that's sort of just does it ignite my soul, and those sort of things are the questions I ask myself before I decide whether I'm going to go down that path or not. And then you have these things called dream funders as well. So naive enough to think that you can just leap straight into a field that you're passionate about. Sometimes it does take a lot of work. I chopped wood for $20 an hour to pay for fight lessons to be able to get into stunts. That's a dream funder. But the opposite side of that is retaining this focus on what lights you up. And that is part of your branding, like the brand for me, outdoors in action. So I just follow that in my business motto as well.
Yeah. We've had a nice little exchange of ideas there because I'm going to steal dream funders. I really like
Okay.
I really like that.
You're on.
Yeah, that's a nice way of, back to your point around sort of looking for the positive in any situation. If you've got a bit of a job to do, well, actually, you can think of it that way. This is a dream funder, and it's the reality as well, right? In our work in life, we all have to do things that are less energizing and inspiring for us. But if you can make a way to link a not so great aspect of work or life, how it's helping you do the stuff that you're really passionate about, that's really powerful, right? I love that.
Yeah. And I mean, my dream funders, loosely linked in with things like, I mean, I did extra work on set and it wasn't what I wanted to be doing, but it also showed me how to be on set and gave me connections and gave me experience. And so, like, you can, those dream funders, even though they might not be the ideal end game, they can certainly be in a similar field as well.
Hey, before you go, let me tell you about what is possibly the most exciting development in the entire history of my business. It's called Ben AI. It's my AI clone that gives you instant, on-demand, and personalised coaching whenever and wherever you need it. It's been created using every piece of content I've developed in the past 11 years and everything I've learned about leadership in my entire life. Because you're a listener to this podcast, I want you to be one of the first to get hold of it, and I want to give you some exclusive discounts. Right now, I'm looking for 20 beta testers who will get unlimited access to Ben AI for 2 weeks. If you want to be one of those beta testers, or if you just want to know more and receive details about when we launch and those exclusive discounts, please just click on the link in the show notes wherever you happen to be listening to this episode. That's it for now. See you soon.